Hey guys, Drifter here. Call of Duty just got caught red-handed making DLC content with artificial intelligence, which is really shocking for a company with a net worth of $75 billion previous to the Microsoft buyout, and one that has like 12 various supporting art studios located all around the world. Activision was previously investing between $300 million and $1 billion into every Call of Duty game every single year, just kind of depending on the needs of the game. And you would think surely that's enough money to hire actual artists to make content for the game and not just AI slop, right? Wrong. So wrong, in fact, that most of the Zombies voice acting team has quit, forcing Treyarch to recast them. Treyarch has had to recast people that have been working in Zombies as Zombies characters for over a decade, which is very, very sad. But this is not a new problem. This is actually something that's been building for a while now. However, the story that broke the community's back was the Santa Claus with 6 fingers. That's the one I used in the thumbnail, and it's this Winter Events Necro Claus, a very spooky Santa, and you'll notice that he has 6 fingers on his hand instead of 5. This is important because he's not just a zombie or a mutant, but is likely AI generated, and the fingers are being used as proof. In case you didn't know, AI generated images really struggle with fingers and hands. These are very complex things that can move and pose and interact with objects in a variety of complex ways. So even with the billions or trillions of images that have been sampled and videos that have been studied, the AI is looking for a best fit, and sometimes it just does things with the hands wrong, teeth as well. But what you're really looking for most of the time is AIs that have wrong finger counts or fingers that bend the wrong way. I've seen 3, 5, 6, 7 backwards fingers all over the place. And the problem is so ubiquitous that even some artists and designers of mutants, creatures, monsters, and other things have decided to stick with the basic 5 fingers as of late just to prove that their art isn't AI generated. There's a few other suspicious details on that image of Santa Claus as well, like if you look at the stair railing in the back, you'll notice that it isn't consistently straight. The rails of the banisters sometimes wobble and they're curvy and a little bit weird looking, and there's some unusual wrinkling and blending on the Christmas gift that Santa Claus is holding, so it really looks like an AI image that was perhaps touched up by an actual artist, or maybe the whole thing was AI generated. I don't really know. And speaking of not knowing, Call of Duty Activision Treyarch hasn't been very forthcoming about this, so it certainly hasn't been confirmed by any official source. It's just very likely that at least part of this DLC was generated by AI, because they recently posted a job listing at Treyarch looking for an artist that was familiar with using AI to generate assets. The job listing was very public and it was very specific about using AI. The community absolutely noticed because those are high-profile jobs. And Activision Blizzard have been hiring more AI-friendly developers for quite a long time now. So long, in fact, you might be surprised to hear that according to a report from Wired, Call of Duty has sold AI-generated DLC before, and pretty recently it was during the Modern Warfare 3 lifecycle. This was another leaked internal report that was not confirmed by the main brand or anything, so keep that in mind. But the report was that they used artificial intelligence to generate weapon skins for Modern Warfare 3 that were then put on the market. I don't know how much of a human hand went into this generation or if they just cranked these out, but you would think that with billions of dollars of available resources that they'd be able to hire some real artists just to make DLC on an engine that's already done, right? No, we'd be very wrong. And the internet articles make it seem like the problem is so bad that the entire Zombies voice cast quit to protest, which forced Treyarch to recast those actors that have been playing roles for decades, especially Samantha. But that is a little bit misleading. The actors didn't quit because Call of Duty rolled out an AI-generated DLC and they felt really bad for us gamers or anything like that. Supposedly, the actors quit because they were unable to acquire AI protections for their contracts. In case you didn't know about this, artificial intelligence and digital likeness protections are becoming extremely common in Hollywood now. The driving force behind this is a desire from actors to protect their voice and likeness from digital replication. Many of you have seen movies where people have been digitally de-aged or dead actors come back to life, and a huge aspect of the, I would say recent, it's a year or two old now, actors strike had to do with negotiating AI replication standards in contracts. SAG-AFTRA fought super hard trying to ensure that future generations of actors didn't get ripped off or just have there be a bunch of AI clones of them. And you can imagine this, if you're an actor for a video game, depending on the game and the needs and a lot of different things, you could be doing voice acting, you could be doing face capture, you could be doing a full body motion capture suit thing going on. But you're going to be giving the development studios a ton of biometric information about you. They're going to have extremely high quality recordings of your voice, how you react, how you carry yourself, your gait, your face, the way you smile, the way your pupils dilate when you hear certain words. Just tons and tons and tons of information captured at an extremely high quality, much higher quality than people that just make AI clones based off of movie footage or something like that. And more than enough to easily digitally replicate that actor in both likeness and voice and use an AI software to make them say whatever it is that you want them to say. Actors, like most people, do like getting paid for their work, and they also, if the work is good, like to be able to come back for sequels. They're not exactly big fans of doing the work once and then letting companies copy all of their assets into a digital clone to do it forever for free, and they never get paid again and never get royalties. So I wouldn't be a big fan of that either. And according to a reliable source, and I want to clarify that this source is still a leak and technically not confirmed, the Zombies voice cast left because they were not able to negotiate for protections from AI replication. They wanted some compensation, some sort of protection, some sort of approval, something to prevent them from just being copied via AI for future DLCs, but they were not able to get those protections in the contracts. I guess Activision just wasn't going to give those up. And I wish I could say this is uncommon in the industry, but it's really not. This happens all the time, all over the place. And it's scary for me because I think AI is taking over game development at an extremely fast pace. The Finals is infamous for being one of the first big games to openly use AI, and a number of people actually chose to boycott the Finals because of that. But more and more large corporations are increasingly looking for developers that can train AI or use artificial intelligence tools to generate assets. Animators for games and film are increasingly relying on AI or at least machine learning algorithms to smooth out certain parts of their job, either asset generation, physics, object interaction, I suppose that's physics, or just filling in background details. Indie developers have been publishing games with hodgepodge code made entirely with artificial intelligence for a while now. They run super poorly optimized, often don't do well. But if you want to look forward to the next generation of graphics cards, the RTX 5090 will be designed from the ground up to utilize AI for upscaling, frame interpolation, and just general rendering. All future generations of smartphones will ship with chips in them that are specifically designed to work well with artificial intelligence features. Consoles are probably going to start doing a similar thing in the near future. CEOs of big companies are just convinced that the cost savings of artificial intelligence compared to real developers are too great to ignore. So I think in the future, we'll be playing games that are generated by artificial intelligence and rendered on chips that are designed to maximize the computational power of said AI. Personally, I'm opposed to most uses of artificial intelligence. I don't want to be a Luddite, but very much so like cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence is a massive burden on our planet's resources. In the next 10 years, about half of all electricity that's generated is going to go to managing AI data centers, or at least that's how things are going to end up here in Texas where I am. Our planet's resources are being strained beyond its ability to sustain itself right now, and we're about to pour jet fuel all over that fire with artificial intelligence. And I know that a lot of you look down on me for this, like it's Weenie Hut Jr. stuff or like a liberal delusion or whatever, but I care deeply for the health of our planet. I care for its sustainability, I care for our pollution levels, I care for human health. I care to the point where I recycle, use green energy, I drive electric cars. I even turn off all of my outdoor lights at night because I know that those lights disrupt insect population reproductive cycles. And I also know that our insect population is globally collapsing to the point where we're probably going to have not just an insect, but like a runaway population collapse in our lifetime. And I don't want to contribute to that problem. And I think bugs are important and they need to be cared for and left to do their job in our environment. And I say all of that to demonstrate how much I care and to also demonstrate the opposite, that the leadership of large companies don't give one single flying fudgesicle about the future. Chasing shareholder profit margins with artificial intelligence could literally lead to the extinction of the human race, or at least the current civilization in which we live, because they don't seem to care at all about the levels of pollution that are going around. And I do think that we need AI in some capacity. I don't hate the technology. I've seen it be incredibly useful for diagnosing rare diseases, creating new organic molecules or proteins, solving incredibly difficult research and analytical problems. And they're just generally good things AI can be doing for society. And I think that if in the near future we make artificial general intelligence, that even more good can come from it. However, I believe that we need to be using these technologies responsibly. Instead of replacing artists and all of their creative jobs, we should be using AI to do difficult research or replacing monotonous work. And we should also probably be deploying it in a more sustainable way, which would almost certainly be a more limited capacity. And the focus, since they're currently rudimentary, should be on research, development, and improvement, and not just monetization of AI systems, because again, that blows up the planet. But that's just my opinion about that. That's just a little rant I added at the end. That's just how I'm feeling about things. You're welcome to grill me in the comments for caring that the human race needs to survive and other... it all, I guess. I guess I should care about CEOs' profits or whatever while the planet gets polluted. I'm getting really salty. I'm going to go down a hard anti-capitalism doomer rant if I keep going. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.